Hello, everyone. Yesterday we saw that TSA paid $1.4 million to build an app that randomly points left or right to manage people standing in the queue. Someone made that app in 10 minutes and posted it to Reddit over here. Let's quickly check what that app does. Here is the video that was uploaded.
Okay, we got a news story here today. TSA spends 1.4 million on an app that randomly points left or right. Right, this is a staggering amount of money to spend on an app. We got a video here. Let's take a look at what it actually does.
So that is what the app does, randomly points left or right. And the developer who uploaded this video goes on to build that app out in 10 minutes, but it is being shown how to develop it in Android. And it's pretty straightforward. But for all the iOS developers out there who are learning to build apps on the iPhone or iPad, I don't want them to be left out if there are $1 million opportunities to build app for any other agencies which are similar to this. So today we are going to attempt to recreate that app for iOS. Let's bring up Xcode. I'm going to create a new project. Single view application. Let's call it TSA Arrow. Swift, iPhone, everything is filled out. And let's save it. What you see is the metadata. We won't tinker with that. Go into the main storyboard where we will design this app. Let me change this to my preferred size on a 4-inch screen. And what we want is a button. I'm going to drag, drop it here. I'm going to call this button show me the way. I'm going to add a quick constraint so that it's always horizontally aligned in container, so that no matter how you hold the device, it will look nice. The next control I need is a image view. Drag and drop it here. And I'm going to add the same constraint, horizontal in container, add this constraint. I'm going to additionally say that let's leave out 15 pixels on either side, and let's pin it to that so that this distance from the edges is whatever you are asking it to do. Add those two constraints. So our app is designed now. I'm going to bring up the code here. And the first thing I'm going to do is double click and drag and drop it here. I need an outlet. I'm going to call it button show arrow connect. So that's the variable you would use to reference this button. Similarly, I want an outlet for image. So I'm going to call it image view arrow connect. So the two variables are in there. Now when you click this button, you need to fire some code. I'm going to again double click, drag and drop it there and make this an action, and the name is button show arrow press connect. So the UI has been wired up to the code. Now what I need is another array over here. Let's call it array of image names. And I want to add the two image names here. First one, so let me bring in the image files. Documents, I have a left arrow, I have a right arrow. Oops. All right. I have some images that are added. You can see it over here. I'm going to say the name as left arrow dot jpg, right arrow dot jpg. Those are the two images I need for now. And what I'm going to do is when this button is pressed, this is going to fire. And this fires, I need the right image name. So let's see. Image name equals, I'm going to pick it out of the array of image names I have created. And for the index, what I need is a random 0 or 1, so that it can randomly pick either 0 or 1 at those spots. So for that, I'm going to use this function arc for random underscore uniform. And that function takes an integer. So if I enter 2, it's going to give me, if I enter, let's say, 10, it's going to give me a random number between 0 and 9. So here I want either randomly 0 or 1, so I'm going to add 2. It might not be happy because this needs to be converted into an integer. And that should take care of that error. Now once I have the image name, let me generate the image, and then it's UI image named image. That's the variable I'm using. Once I have the image, all that's left to be done is image view arrow. That's the image view, and the image property of that will be assigned this image we just created. So let's see why this one is not happy. Variable used within its own initial value. Yep, you want to be using this. That'll fix that. So when you press this button, it's going to randomly pick either left arrow or right arrow and display it. So I think that covers everything that we would need. Let's try to build this. Build successful. That's the simulator. I'm going to quit it because I need a smaller size simulator. This is how you select what simulator you want. And it's the previous one. Stop. Simulator. And this is how the app would look. Waiting for it to finish building. There you go. That's our button. When you click it, it's giving you an arrow randomly. So right, right, left, right, 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 left, left. So you get the idea. So there you go. That is the app. Didn't take us more than 5 minutes to build it. And there you go. So if there are more $1 million opportunities out there like this, I want you to go ahead and chase those. But before we wrap up, let's have a bit more fun with this. Once you have delivered this app, collected your $1 million, if you want to sell something more and say that, hey, we have this cool new feature, how about you pay us a couple $1 million more for it. So in this particular case, the TSA might need a way to randomly check some suspicious people, like in quotes, random check. So how would you do that, right? How would you make it look as if people are being selected randomly? What we could do is, let's see, one way to do it is if I press this button for a little bit longer, maybe it can display a random check. That way, the passengers in the line need not know, and it would appear to be random. We would never do such a thing, but for the sake of learning how some evil folks could do it, let me quickly show you. I need to, from our previous lessons, I need to bring in a bit of code. Let's go back to the browser here. I have this code handy. What I want to do is when the app loads, I want to add a gesture to our button. So let me explain what this is doing. I'm creating a UI long press gesture recognizer, and I'm saying I want to target it to the self, to this app, and whenever this gesture happens, call this action function. I want to set a duration. I'm going to say that, yep, if the button is held down for at least 1 second, then go ahead and trigger the action function. And then here I want to assign it to our button. There you go. That is how you add an additional gesture um, to your button. Now, once this gesture is added, when this happens, it's going to look for this function called action and try to execute what's in it. So we have to now write the function. I have the skeleton of the function here. There you go. What this is doing is, let me delete out this old code so that I can explain it better. So when this action is called, now this action is called 2 times. When you start pressing and when you lift your finger up, right? That's what it's saying. Long press detected. So this gets fired after you have held down the button for 1 second. And when you pick up your finger, this function gets called again. Now, we want whatever we want to do only 1 time, right? Not 2 times. So it's an if-else statement over here, and we aren't really doing anything when you lift up your finger. But when a long press is detected, here's where you want your code to go. And the code is going to be exactly the same, except instead of an arrow, we are going to use a image for random check. All right, and rest is the same. You're creating an image out of it and then assigning it to the image view. Now let's fire this up. An instance. Okay, it's saying a simulator is already running. If I hit stop, let's see. Stop. All right, maybe I need to kill this simulator. Let's try that again. So something is off. Let me quickly pause the video. All right, so I had to quit Xcode and come back. And now when I run the simulator, it should work. Build succeeded. It's loading it up. Here is the app. All right, working as expected. Random left and right arrows. Now let's say you want someone to go through a random check. You hold it down for a tad bit longer. There you go. And then again, you can go on with your business with your random arrows, press it a bit longer, and random check. All right, so hope you had fun building this app, and hopefully you can find some contracts that will pay you handsomely for this. Uh, Good luck, and we will come back with more videos.